I'm the founder of Momentum. I was doing my PhD at Georgia Tech, quit it halfway, get 2 of my masters, so my parents not too disappointed. Joined the Meta as engineer, then joined the Libra team, which is where I met all the founders from SUI, Mission Labs, and now we started Momentum. We're building the financial operation system for the tokenized world. Essentially, we want to build a trading platform where you can trade anything, retail or institution. So if you think about Binance, the trading platform for crypto, Interactive Broker, TrashSwap, their trading platform for stocks. We're building a trading platform for everyone to trade anything. We are building this thing fully decentralized on-chain. So it's going to be global from day one, and it's going to be not owned by a single entity.
You helped build the Move language. Can you explain me why crypto space needed another programming language?
If we really want to move the whole financial system to, let's say, on-chain, the first thing we need to solve is it's a token, it's coin, it's money. It's different than just numbers. With the other languages, I would say Move put tokens as first-class citizen in the design principle. For example, if you have some money, it cannot just disappear. It has to be transferred to someone else. It can't be just like you double it or someone just remove a zero from it just because they wanted to. There's a lot of control over that. We launched less than 6 months ago. We have over 500 million in liquidity. That's real money, real assets. Over 2.1 million users, wallets, on-chain users who do swaps and add liquidity. And just yesterday, we passed the 1.1 billion in trading volume for a spot DEX. But at the end of the day, the goal is to have one platform for people to trade all the assets. We are seeing the world where crypto and mainstream finance is coming together. We believe we are best positioned to launch this trading platform for everyone to trade on.
Hey everyone, welcome to Drops, a podcast series where we showcase rising projects and founders that are not yet mainstream but have a huge potential in the crypto space. Since When Shift Happens started to take off, we've received hundreds of requests from incredible teams every month that we had to turn down. Not because they weren't good enough, but because they weren't yet the right fit in terms of scale and visibility. And this is changing now. With the Drops series, we're building on the credibility of When Shift Happens to give a voice to the next generation of builders shaping the future of crypto. Drops isn't a research service or an endorsement. It's a platform to spotlight the potential breakout founders of tomorrow. Tell me more about you. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm the founder of Momentum. I guess a little bit about myself before I talk more about Momentum. I was, like we were discussing, I'm based in the Bay Area, staying in Mountain View for a very long time. Before that, I was doing my PhD at Georgia Tech. Quit it halfway, get 2 of my masters, so my parents not too disappointed. Joined the Meta as engineer. Still think that's one of the good decisions I've made. Then joined the Libra team, which is where I met all the founders from SUI, Mission Labs, and now we started Momentum about end of 2022. Now seeing a lot of excitement and traction from our communities. Really excited.
You mentioned parents being not too disappointed. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Well,
how much did what your parents think of you kind of guide your choices?
Actually, not much. They just want... Actually, this is one of the things. They just want me to do the things that I want to do, being very, very supportive, even if they don't know what I'm doing. But, every parent wants a PhD in the family. So I got them 2 masters. They're good.
If you had to explain me what it is you do and why you do it, what would you say? Let's say I'm your Uber driver. I drive you here to the studio and I'm in a good mood and I ask you, hey, now I understand more who you are. What do you do and why do you do it? What do you tell me?
Whomever we talk with, I always start this one-liner because I want people to understand what we do. We're building the financial operation system for the tokenized world. Okay, that's a lot of words.
Yeah, that's a lot of buzzwords for Uber driver, even for me.
But we want people to have that in their mind and then tell them what we do. Essentially, we want to build a trading platform where you can trade anything, retail or institution. Okay, so if you think about Binance, the trading platform for crypto, Interactive Broker, TrashWalk, they're trading platform for stocks. And Robinhood now is a trading platform for both stocks and crypto. In the future, we believe the line is going to be blurred a lot. So we're building a trading platform for everyone to trade anything. And the difference between us and Robinhood is like we are building this thing fully decentralized on chain. So it's going to be global from day one, and it's going to be not owned by single entity. It's going to be fully decentralized. That's a lot of words for an Uber driver, but yeah.
Okay, cool. But Robinhood, okay, let's say I'm Uber driver, but I lived in the US, right? So I understand this Robinhood thing that a lot of people use. I'm trying to understand why I would need anything else, because it's so used. And so now we have like the Revolut and the Robinhood and all these, someone in crypto would say, but this is centralized and this is kind of Web 2, right? Okay, cool. But like, why would I need Uber driver or anyone else to trade on another kind of platform when this thing kind of works well and I'm used to it? And switching costs, like, I mean, you're in tech since a long time. You understand the network effects and switching costs, right? Like, I'm not going to change my app that I use every day if it's not for something else that's like 10, 50, 100 times better.
Yeah. So the way we think about this is this platform is to use to, I guess this is like a multi-part question. If you think about any trading platform you're using, either we're in crypto, we use Binance and OKX, all the other exchanges. If you want to trade crypto, you go to this platform. You want to trade security stocks, you go to the other platform. And there is like fragmented liquidity. You cannot use this as collateral to do something else. So it's about offering all the assets for people to trade in one platform. That's one thing. The other thing is there's a lot you can unlock in DeFi. People join DeFi for a reason, because there is a lot of, I was about to say there's a lot of earning opportunities, but again, people can lose money easily as well. But there is just a lot more opportunities on both sides of the words. And in the future, we really believe either TradeFi going to crypto or crypto going mainstream. These two forces are going to just come together. So it is essential for one platform to actually serve people globally, not restricted or mainly focusing in one region to trade all the assets. So that's where we see the future is going. Since we're talking about this, I want to share some data to show that there is actually a use case here and people are actually trading on our platform, doing a lot of things. So we actually launched Momentum DEX. It's only spot DEX at this point. We launched less than 6 months ago. We have over 500 million in liquidity. That's real money, real assets. Over 2.1 million users, wallets, on-chain users who do swaps and add liquidity. And just yesterday, we passed the 1.1 billion in trading volume for a spot DEX. It's number 3 across all the DEXs, right next to Uniswap and Pancake. So some people say SUI is still early, but based on what we have seen, people are really excited or understanding what we're doing, and that's why they are participating.
I have too many questions.
Okay.
The first one is, where do these users come from? Do you have an idea? Have some data?
Yeah.
2.1 million is a lot of people. Like, how do you know where they're from?
We look at our traffic. As far as I can remember, from August, it's like 10% from US. And the line goes to US, Vietnam, Hong Kong, South Korea. That's the top 4 where the traffics come from.
Okay. I'm still trying to understand. I mean, actually understand, but I want people to understand. Because you talk about on-chain and opportunities and DeFi and all that stuff. Why can a Robinhood, because they're talking about that a lot, why can't they not get there? Or what's the disadvantage that they have over a smaller player like Momentum? Or I would say even Phantom, for example. Phantom fully on chain, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between a Momentum, Phantom, Jupiter, and a Robinhood that might have way more customers, right? They're buying a Bitstamp, like an exchange. They're saying we're going to tokenize everything, etc. What's the advantage that you have over them?
So I want to talk about the similarity first. Robinhood is a trading platform for stocks. They start with spot trading and then offer options. When they really grow is during the pandemic, a lot of retail users flooded in. And then they trading volume just grow exponentially because people are trading GMX, like the meme stocks. And then they convert those users to perp traders. So it's like going from spot to perpetuals. And they grab the user base first and then grow the revenue because they offer more options for trading. So that's the similarity
Which sounds like
part.
a very logical way to build a business, right?
Yeah. This is actually, I was having this conversation with the team. So like, people are, that's 2.1 million wallets doing swaps and other liquidity. It's a lot of users. Now we only have like spot decks and everybody's like happy around perp. But then if you look at all the other perp on EVM, they're essentially competing for, I wouldn't say exactly the same, but similar group of users. The way we look at this is like we grow the user base first and then we bring them to bring more options to them in terms of like assets and the different options for trading, like spot, leverage, and everything. So somehow it becomes like the playbook in crypto and Web2 is actually very, very similar in terms of grow your user base, offering more product services, and having people just getting more sticky on your platform and grow your platform, both the revenue side and the user base side. That's the similarity. The way we see this different, or like Robinhood is a big player.
How many users do they have?
That's a really good question.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's probably tens of millions, I guess.
So we checked, they have, when they raised their private round, they were valued at 8 billion in private market when they have 12 million funded accounts. If you think about this, that's a very, very big valuation. Private market is putting a company.
Yeah. It's huge.
It's huge. Now they're worth, I think, 140 billion market cap.
And they don't have access to worldwide users, right? Because there's all these regulations. So like you cannot even account for like, hey, look, this is like a kind of borderless like crypto, which is why we can anticipate the growth in user will be much higher because it's just you put the app on whatever the app store and then anyone from anywhere can access. That's not the case, right? So it doesn't.
Exactly.
I don't want to say it doesn't make sense. I'm not a VC, but like it's, yeah.
That's their approach, and the market is valuing them crazily. Our approach is like crypto is global from day one. Like everybody can access, can get a wallet. So the user base is just it's like global from day one. And the way we see about this is like they go from Web 2 to Web 3. We are native on a chain that's Web 3 to start with, and there was like an ecosystem building around on the whole ecosystem because there's lending, there's votes, there's us building a trading platform for both spot and perpetual. So you need this whole ecosystem to, why would people join DeFi? They can do all the trading on like all this Robinhood, Charleswap, everywhere. They join DeFi because there is an ecosystem there. You can use your stock as collateral, borrow stables or leverage up, 100x, 1000x. There's something you can't do in the other platforms. That's the difference, and that's the strong, I would say, because let's talk about Sui again, because Sui spent the past 2 to 3 years, building a very vibrant DeFi ecosystem on chain. We're going to leverage all that.
We'll talk about Sui very shortly. I just have one question based on what you just said. You said crypto is global. But when you build a startup, you learn, whether it's crypto or not, that you should have a focus, right? And a target customer. Otherwise, you're kind of doing everything but nothing. So how in crypto, how do you do this? Because crypto is global, so there's probably the incentive to say, yeah, but we can do everything anywhere. But every market is probably very different, right?
Yes.
Every kind of trader. So like, how do you start in crypto, which is global, but where you probably need to have kind of a tailor-made approach by region or country, or and a priority in where you start and how you start? How do you do that?
I feel like you're from a Web2 background. I can see
I mean, I've been building businesses for 10 years, so it's just like
Right.
a very logical way of thinking for me. And I would think in crypto it's kind of similar. Maybe instead of geographic, you say I have this target customer that could be in different places, right? I don't know how it works, which is why I'm asking.
Yeah, because I see that because when we're working at Meta, there is definitely like localized strategies for different countries to grow the user base. Some people might like this product in one place, some people may like the other. But again, the vision there, I think vision is very important with something like we keep talking about within the company and what we do. So like Meta's vision is connect people. So they connect people through the products. The way we see what we do is we're building this infrastructure to connect people with the trading opportunities. So there is a strong focus here for trading. In terms of like answer your question, how do we like serve people in different regions? They may want different things, but at the end of the day, it's all trading. Just make trading easy for them. Make it easy for them, give them more assets to trade. So that's actually the two things that like, people care about the most.
I understand.
That's what's good about, crypto and building a trading platform.
I understand. It's a very different way of thinking,
Yes.
but much more scalable, much faster,
Yes.
for sure. You mentioned SUI a few times and Meta, Facebook. You helped build the Move language, which we had Sam, who is kind of like the creator of the Move language, on the podcast. Can you explain me why crypto space needed another programming language like Move?
Yeah. We think of like if we really want to move the whole, I would say, financial system to, let's say, on-chain, why? Like the first thing we need to solve is it's a token, it's coin, it's money. It's different than just numbers. With the other languages, I would say Move put tokens as first-class citizen in the design principle. For example, if you have some money, it cannot just disappear. It has to be transferred to someone else. You cannot double it just because you times that by 2. But in Solidity or other programming language, assets are literally just numbers. You can do whatever you want. You can add a 0, remove 0. It's crazy. But in Move language, assets are first-class citizen. They have to either be transferred or be burned. So everything is very specific. It can't be just like you double it or someone just remove a 0 from it just because they wanted to. There's a lot of control over that.
So there is much more of a context. It's a much more elaborated programming language.
I would say
Less raw, probably. From my understanding, I'm not a programmer, but like from my understanding, you have these almost like functions of like, this is a thing, this is a certain thing, this is another thing. It's less raw than another language that is kind of an
everything's
older
the same,
language.
just
where
numbers.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
in the Move language, like token is a token. You cannot mess around with it. It's like your money. You can't mess around with it.
Would that mean that is the overall, it makes the whole thing more secure? Or what's the aim of the Move language? If you define different functions or attributes or objects, I would say,
Right.
a certain way, does it mean that the whole thing will be much more controlled and therefore secure?
I
Or
would
what's
say,
the logic?
Yeah, actually, I feel like there are two main benefits. One is like more secure. So if you really, really want to move all these financial ecosystems to one to on-chain. On-chain is a very broad word. It has to be secure. And the second thing is actually easy for developers to build applications around it. So
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Of course.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like you have almost a library of things already kind of pre-built,
exactly.
and you just take them, right? Like, I mean, it's not a drag and drop, but like, yeah, I understand.
It's
It makes
secure
a lot of
baked in.
sense. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not like you have to be a PhD. I don't hate PhDs. You don't have to be a PhD to be a developer in the space.
Let's talk about Sui a bit. Sui, who are good friends of the podcast. I think I had every founder on now, the 5 of them. Why did you choose to build on Sui? I mean, obviously you worked with the team at Meta on Libra, and they all come from there, right? Tell me why Sui?
Yeah, I think go back to what we discussed before. It's all about the people. So
Yeah.
like we worked together for a long time, and there was like a trust building there. And back in Libra days, when we were designing a language or thinking about the product, it's always like, how do we serve 2 billion people? That's the scale we're looking at. So when we talk with the Sui team, we always knew this is where they come from. So when we're trying to build a trading platform for everyone, we knew there would never be a blocker in scalability and other things. And since you talk with all the Sui founder, they built the execution layer Sui, the storage layer Walrus, the encryption layer Seal. And now we are utilizing Nautilus to support TEE, as in the trust environment for building any of the there's a lot of details there. So basically, they have really good, as Evan said, design taste to build all these blocks infrastructure to support the future of applications, which we feel there was like there's trust there. There's like really good infrastructure to power what we do, and just a natural choice.
Yeah, obviously it feels very natural. I completely understand it. Especially when you know the guys. I mean, I didn't work with them for whatever 5 or 10 years, but I've been working with them for maybe a year plus now. And they're just amazing people, very humble. And when you go in the office, you feel this. They're literally, Adeni was like, this. We had the same office at Facebook. Like it's the same vibe. It's super entrepreneurial, and you feel the energy in there, and you're like, holy shit, like something is really happening here for sure. So you mentioned your goal is to build a universal trading platform like Binance and Robinhood, but kind of next level, right? Truly interoperable and compliant. What's the biggest unlock that you need to make this vision real? Maybe you can integrate here this Momentum X, your compliance layer. That is a big thing, and that we talked about the other day.
Gotcha. Yeah. So the vision or the mission is always to allow building a trading platform to enable people to trade everything, anywhere, from like global and on-chain from day one. And now people can trade crypto assets easily, and people can also just use the price feed to trade stocks. But for any of the institutions to come on to our world, well, I mean, they're already coming in. But to really unlock this trillions of assets, we have to have deep liquidity. We have to have compliance baked in. And that's where we see the big blocks are. So we're building this, as you said, mentioned Momentum X is a product where you KYC once and you can trade KYC once, store that information on-chain, fully on-chain, encrypted, of course, and you can trade all the assets issued by the institutions compliantly. If we really want to scale this business, institutions, they're not going to come if they don't know who they're trading against. This piece of infrastructure is one we see missing. We're actually building like a two-sided market here. So the users need more tokens to trade on, and the institution want more users they can actually access to. But the big missing piece here is compliance, because you have to know your counterparty. Otherwise, there is a big risk of compliance risk.
Is the KYC thing not, I mean, I understand completely the logic, but not kind of against what a lot of people who join crypto kind of are for?
Yeah, I would agree. And this is why we're saying we're not just building a DEX. We're also not just for crypto. We are building the platform for the world to trade on.
And this Momentum X compliance layer, does that mean that you said, right, I do my KYC once? Does that mean that if I, for example, Kevin, I go, I do that once, I can then just go and trade not necessarily on Momentum or not necessarily on SUI, but on anything else, and this thing will have my information? Like, is this how it's going to work? Is it like or the goal is like multi-chain, multi-platform? We talked about before, we talked about closed ecosystem versus like, well, actually we have this product that is like being used everywhere. How do you see about that?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. So if you ask me what the future will look like, we would say, hi, there is one platform, there is one application people interact with, and all the infrastructure behind it should be abstracted away. For example, when you're using Google, you don't care if they're using HTML4, HTML6, whatever. You don't care about the infrastructure, although they're very, very important. People just interact with one application. So to answer your question, it could be like the goal is to serve more assets to users. It could be assets on SUI, it could be assets on Solana, it could be assets everywhere. But at the end of the day, the goal is to have one platform for people to trade all the assets. And to answer your question about like, people definitely doesn't come to crypto because they want to do KYC. But again, we want to build this platform for everyone to trade on. So we want to grow the audience, starting from these 2.1 million users to the broader audience. And again, it's we really see us as building this two-sided market here. There's going to be user bases, compliant use. Well, if they want a KYC to trade new assets, they can. If they don't want, they can enjoy the full benefit of DeFi already.
It's just they're going to have a more limited access to what they can trade.
Exactly.
Correct?
Exactly.
Okay, understand.
So I'm just going to, just one thing to add here. If there is one thing that, if you want to just go to the platform, trade your BTC to some SUI token, easy peasy, nothing changes. Probably one of the best experience. Fast, cheap, deep liquidity. But if you want to trade other assets, you use your BTC as collateral to buy some NVIDIA stocks, you can do that too if you onboard it to the platform.
You're building a DEX, right? You're playing in a pretty crowded space. I mean, Jupiter, on Solana, Hyperliquid, Paradex, on Ethereum, I mean, Starkware. Everyone wants to trade everything. What do you see in this market that others are missing?
Yeah, I think we need to look at the user base. And let's talk about the user case for a second. So if you know SUI ecosystem and other ecosystem, SUI is very unique, as in there are a lot of retail users versus institution traders. If you look at Solana, maybe like a big, I forgot the exact number, but bigger chunk of the trading volume come from institutions like market makers. But on SUI, much bigger chunk of this volume come from retail users. We know because we run a DEX. And that's one thing. The other thing is like there is a very little overlap between SUI users versus other ecosystem users. There are so many perp DEX out there. A lot of them are competing for the same group of traders. So that's why SUI is very unique in the way where retail is majority of the players here, and the institutions are slowly, gradually coming in. Actually, a lot of them, they wasn't integrated about 6 months ago. Now all the major players are started integrating, which is very exciting. I think that set up the success for the next leg of growth. On the other side, if we look at the difference between us, and you said there was a lot of players in the same space, but they are targeting that group of user. Our group user, I would say, is different and much I'm trying to be cautious here, saying much bigger, or I would say it's very different. The other thing that we see fundamentally different and can only be done on our platform is actually the trading of not only crypto assets. We're literally building a platform for the world to trade on. So it's not another Uniswap or it's not another Hyperliquid. That's all only mostly focusing on the crypto world.
Okay, makes sense. What's the one thing that people should remember from today's conversation?
We are seeing the world where crypto and mainstream finance is coming together. It's like definitely a trend where things are going. And we believe we are best positioned to launch this trading platform for everyone to trade on. There is a lot of moat building because of all the infrastructure, because of the way we see it going. And we're already seeing the initial tractions, like we just discussed. This 2.1 million users, this 500 million liquidity, this 1.1 billion trading volume in one day. It's the community always surprises us with their commitment and excitement. So along with them, we're getting much more closer to where we see the world is going.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy, for doing this. That was great. It was great also for us to go and see and explore a bit more into the SUI ecosystem, because I've done a lot of the key founders, but not yet projects on the top. So I think it's going to be very helpful for people to understand better what's going on in the SUI ecosystem, trust it more, and see that there is serious people working on SUI.
There's serious people. Yes, there are a lot of them. And we're lucky to work with a very, very solid team from Mison and SUI.
Yeah, also lucky to call them friends. And hopefully you also to call you a friend since today onwards.
Just come to the Bay Area and I'll bring you to that June and Juice again.
I'll be there in a month. Amazing. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.